Hey folks, Brian, RPG Day 2022, day number 22, catching up. So, who is your character? This is kind of interesting because I have a character that I'm currently playing in the game I play in, but I also have a character that I had played for years and another campaign that I have sunk a lot of effort, love, and concern into. But we'll talk about Wes. Wes is the current character that I play in the RuneQuest 3 Avalon Hill version game that I play in. In fact, I'll put a link to the Eldorath playlist in the description because I record our games and I actually take notes for the sessions and do session reviews and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, it's there. But Wes is a fighter magic user. He's a light fighter. He actually rolled, or I rolled, a 90 something for his social standing. And so he's actually tangentially aligned to the ruling line, hereditary, that kind of thing, right? So he's a cousin to Lady Tamara, who is the Lord of Bloodstone, the power in the area. And along with that came, some nice stuff like steel matching rapier and dagger and a family crescent ring that's magic +1 protection, that kind of stuff. So, and access to skills. So he had access to the fencing skill, which allows him to, in this game system, allows him to riposte, so he can turn a defense into an attack. And he fights rapier and dagger. And he's working on his dexterity because if he can get his dexterity up just one more point, that will move his strike rank down a point, which will then allow him to actually make 2 attacks normally in the combat round. He's been working on that for a long time. A long time. Missed like 3 rolls now or something stupid like that. At least 2. But he is merciful and generous, but he's also lustful and deceitful. And I think one of the question things later on, we'll get a chance to talk more about that in detail. But magic wise, well, since he's a light fighter, he's not very strong, and that lowers his encumbrance rating significantly. So that affected a lot of stuff. So yeah, he did come with chain and a heater and a great helm, but he's worn it like once since we've played. And yeah, he's got some horsemanship skills and that kind of thing. But generally, he's wearing, padded in Kirboli, right? Just, heavy leather and padding so that, he doesn't get too encumbered. But he also, magic wise, he's got, we use the spell law, or one of the versions of spell law for the magic system. And he's got the spirit mastery list, the light law list, the wind law list, spell wall list, and he just picked up the familiar law list. So spirit mastery, sleep, right? But the way that works, because it's designed for a level system, and doing the conversion kind of makes things funky. It's helpful if you got like a handful of goblins, you just need to put them to sleep, right? But if you want to get a power gain roll, you have to do power versus power stuff, and there's a couple of spells in there that allow him to do that. It's not hold person, but it's like it restricts a person to 25% of their normal mobility. That's a power versus power. So he's used that a few times to try to get a power gain check that has not yet happened either. Light Law is his go-to spell list. That's got his shock bolt and something else I use out of that list, but I can't recall it offhand. And he's got an amulet that holds a lot of magic points, and so he'll overcharge that shock bolt from time to time because a D4 doesn't really do much damage if somebody's got some decent protection up. Another one he uses, or had used earlier on fairly often, is in Windlaw. There's a like a shocking cloud kind of thing that he can do um, that worked really well against skeletons in metal armor. That was the first time we used it, and it worked really well. Brought those guys down pretty quick. It was fun. Familiar Law he hasn't had a chance to play with yet, but the party just found a pseudo dragon egg, and so it's an incubator. We'll see how this all works out with that. Oh, but Wes, he can ride. He's got court lore, battle, orate, survival scan, lance. He's got lance skill. He did use that once when he was wearing his chain and his helm and his heater, riding down on some goblins while they were out on patrol on a roadway. That was kind of cool. But he does not swim. He certainly doesn't dodge very well. One of our first scenarios, he fell off a bridge and went into the water and he couldn't swim. And it was a mess, a complete mess. But he has picked up a couple of magic items. One is, like I mentioned, that amulet, the star quartz crystal, a lot, and gives him a huge bonus to casting his spells. We also early on we came across an ash wand, which will give him a bonus against fire-based spells, but he doesn't have any fire-based spells yet, and increases fire damage, and also holds some magic points. So he's been using it for magic points prior to getting the crystal. That was really helpful. But that is pretty much it for him. So yeah, he's got a place in Telgar. Telgar is the capital of the southern area where we are, and we were in Hamlet, which is near there. And so every chance he could get, he would head back to Telgar because in Telgar he's got access to stuff. And in Hamlet, he's got money coming in. He's not worried about money, so he's tipping left and right. And so they were really happy for him to be around. I didn't really check about money. I just was, I didn't go out of my way to buy expensive things. In fact, I didn't do anything for paying for party stuff kind of deal. It was all the party working together, and I would chip in if I had to. I'd chip in, a corresponding amount. I never really, managed money. It's just you've got it if you need it, kind of thing, right? So that was kind of fun. But we are not there anymore. We are across the bay and off the map in a town called Kars, right? Yeah, Kars, where the party has been doing some investigation, helping out the local barony. At first, when we got there, we had saved a bunch of people, so they were heroes. But anyway, rambling on about Wes. He thinks he's a ladies' man. He tries to be. Happy gaming.